Okay, so hang on. We're going to finish this conversation that we started before we even started recording, which is where am I from? And to update everyone on where we're at, your first guess was the Midwest or Chicago. All right. And your second guess
I
was.
feel like I've seen people like you in Chicago with like the jerseys and stuff, and like I don't know, it's kind of.
I mean, that's
like a buffalo. Like I don't know, like you seem like a. I guess like my first. If we're really gonna get into this, let's get into it, right? We're feeling good, right? Let's really get into it. Okay, I'm like, is this dude a cold weather dude or a warm weather dude? That's the first thing to help me start dialing down.
Okay, so but you want me to answer that question?
Well, I think I was thinking that because you got the beanie and you got the long sleeves and you got the stuff, you seem very comfortable as a cold weather dude, where you could vibe in cold weather and you're like all cozy and all that stuff. So that already processed kind of like half states, like half of the states for me.
Okay, so what you're saying is you want me to answer that question.
I think right now I would like to know if you're a cold weather or a warm weather person.
Okay. Before I answer that question though, your second guess was North Carolina.
Yeah.
Which is that felt like very like fair.
That was
like
calculated.
Yeah, and that was also calculated. But like we also talked about how calculated it was that you saw my Smoking Jay Cutler jersey and then thought maybe I was from the Midwest. Right. Was that conscious or subconscious? Did you notice?
That was a conscious decision.
That was okay, but no, that's great though.
That was a conscious decision.
Hey, like that means you're being present. You're like, what around here is telling me? That's why I like this question, right? Okay, so we're down 2 guesses. So I mean now. Every question's got to whittle you down to your last guess, okay? Yeah. So when you ask as many questions you want without asking me straight up where I'm from.
Okay.
And then you tell me.
Okay.
I'm gonna lose, but I don't. Is it?
There is no losing.
There isn't no losing.
This is a pure winning.
It's what Tyler calls a fair exchange. He calls that a fair exchange.
It's a beautiful barter system.
Yes. Go.
Okay. Are you warm weather or cold weather?
Oh yeah. Fair. Warm weather.
Okay, warm weather. You from California?
Wait, do you want to use your last guess? You just said California?
Yeah, I want one more, and then if I'll get another guess after.
Oh, okay.
Let me get another guess.
So you're saying we're just going to get the 3 out of the way, and then you're going to start from there? Is that what you're saying? I don't care either way.
Let me ask like another guiding.
Don't ask the state yet.
Okay.
Just. Warm up to it.
Okay, here we go. Are you beach and ocean? Or are you more mountainous and like forestry?
Okay, I'm going to give you a layup right now. Okay.
Beautiful.
I'm more lake and swamp type things.
Swamp?
But don't say Louisiana. We're just gonna go ahead and cross Louisiana off, so you don't do anything. So you don't do anything stupid. You know what I mean? I don't want you to ask that question.
Yeah.
So,
what's mountainous and swampy?
No mountains.
Oh.
Like lakes, rivers, those kinds of things.
Lakes, rivers. Okay.
So to recap, warm weather.
Dry or humid?
Humid.
From Florida?
You want Florida is your final answer?
Florida's the final one.
Okay. Dang. No.
All right, where are you from?
Well, you don't. You want to keep guessing? I'm liking this.
Yeah. Okay, so lakes, rivers. Said you're not Alabama, Georgia.
I didn't say I wasn't Alabama. I said I wasn't Louisiana.
Oh, Louisiana. So you didn't say. Louisiana would be cool though.
Louisiana. I have friends from Louisiana.
Yeah.
Oh, Louisiana.
Nothing against Louisiana. Louisiana would be cool.
Louisiana is like the New York of the South. It's like you don't want to live there, but like it's a great place to go and party or do things. You know what I mean? It's like it's always on fire. The city's always on fire.
Yeah,
I got my nipples pierced in Louisiana.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I don't have them anymore though.
That's cool. That's a good little thing though.
Yeah. What does that tell you about me that I got my nipples pierced in Louisiana? What is that?
Shit, man, that like opens up like.
You're like, what is
if this? If you didn't say humid, I would have been like, dude, that dude's from like Arizona or something. Gosh, man, is it like Alabama or Georgia?
Wait, like you get 2 like right there like together?
I don't know. I'm running out of. My confidence is getting hit because I don't even feel like I'm close.
Oh, you're so close. You're still close.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, like, okay, so it's not Georgia, it's not Alabama, it's not Florida, it's not North Carolina. Okay, it's not. Did I say Louisiana? It's not Louisiana. Okay,
Okay.
and if you get past the next state, almost everything else becomes human. So, what state are we talking about?
Louisiana, Alabama.
No, not those. That's what I'm saying.
No. I know. I'm going through
Okay,
those
yeah.
ones. I'm working my way over.
Okay, got it.
Arkansas?
No.
There's something under Arkansas? Louisiana,
Yes, there is something under Arkansas.
Alabama, Georgia, Florida.
I can't believe I know this much about a map.
Gosh, yeah, I know. We're really getting tested on geography here. What am I missing?
Okay.
Texas? You're not from Texas.
I am from Texas.
You're from Texas?
Yes.
Damn. This whole time?
Well, I mean, I didn't want to I wanted it to be a surprise for you. You know, I didn't want to bust really surprise. Okay,
I don't know why I wouldn't just throw in the Texas just to get it out of the way early on.
Okay,
I
so-
was I was firmly committed that you weren't from Texas. for
Okay,
some reason.
why were you firmly committed I wasn't from Texas? Do you know?
It never even crossed my mind.
Well, what some instinct, something inside of you there's no way this guy's from Texas. So what would it be? The tattoos, my glasses.
There wasn't any.
What does
Texas,
someone
there wasn't
from-
any screamers. There wasn't any screamers that were like Texas.
What does someone from Texas look like?
But it's funny because like people would say that about me, and they would go,
You're from Texas?
"I'm from Texas," and they would be like, "Oh, where's your accent?" and whatever. He was like, "Yo, I used to ride horses to school, biatch." It's like, no, that's not true. And yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so we've narrowed it down to Texas.
Okay, so you're from Austin,
I am not from Austin.
from Dallas.
I am not from Dallas. I'm not from Houston. I just want to go.
No. I wasn't. Honestly, even if you were from Houston, I wouldn't want to know, so I wouldn't get to ask you. I'd just put it on my mind. I'd be like, no, it's okay. Like,
Now, Houston's one of my favorite cities.
that is it though.
Yo, no, it is.
Is it though?
I am H-Town, stay down. I mean, all the way.
All right, that's cool.
I mean,
See, I have yet to.
I have Houston. I have
that
Houston tattoo. I have Houston
experience.
tattoos. I mean, I am Houston. I'm so
You're
Houston.
Houston, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so
Well, I think like the blue faded shades. I think also is giving me some Houston. Like, but I think you might have to make those red, right? I think red's the color over in Houston.
well, I have like every shade and every color. So it's like
I felt
Okay,
like you'd
so-
be good there.
so
Dang. Okay, so
no big cities in Texas.
you're
So-
from a smaller town. in
So
Texas.
from a smaller town, that we narrowed down to a smaller town in Texas. Okay, so I mean, this could get just nuts real quick.
yeah,
So
like Texas Hill Country.
no. What if I told you that I am from right down the road of San Antonio? So I'm from a little town called Edna, Texas.
I know Edna.
Yeah, and that is where I grew up. It's like 5,000 people, 6,000 people, or something like that.
Amazing. All
Yeah,
right.
but somehow we got here.
I love it though.
But I think it's kind of what we talked about, like on the podcast. It's like this is me finding myself, right? With the no judgments of what like I want to do, as long as it's not hurting me or anybody else,
For sure.
right? So the people, in this weird way, sometimes it's like it's good that people judge.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because it could bring awareness to something maybe I don't know about. Maybe they bring up something I never even thought about. Like I want to be aware of myself as I possibly can in every moment, so I can be there in every moment, right? Instead of somewhere else.
Totally.
So what if they bring that to me, right? But also sometimes it's an opportunity to talk about what it's like to be in the present moment, right?
100%.
I'll take advantage of it every time. Anyways.
Got to.
Okay, so what kind of real, you said you had questions. What kind of real questions you got? So we get away from my hometown scavenger hunt.
Yeah, I do have several questions, by the way.
Fire away.
I'm very much looking forward to this segment of the podcast.
It's nice to have a podcaster. It's just nice. It's nice to have a guy that podcasts, because then, it's a dance. It's like when you dance with somebody that dances good. You know what I mean? Some
Yep.
people are naturally good dancers. Some people have to work at it, whatever.
We're
But when you
two-stepping, baby.
Yeah, we're
We're two boys from Texas.
Two boys from Texas.
Two boys from
Oh.
within 60 miles of one another, actually.
Here's a fun
'Cause,
fact.
I'm from San Antonio, right?
Yes, yes.
Right?
We just talked about it on the podcast. I am I fairly fancy myself a pretty fancy country dancer. Can you
Dude,
imagine that?
Me too.
Yeah, look at that. See,
That's
you should see my boot collection.
I'm sure it's a good one.
Yeah, well, I don't wear them much anymore, but when you
Yeah,
have a
but
kid,
you can see him though.
yeah, oh yeah, I could show them to you. Yeah, absolutely. Anyways, all right, I interrupted. Go ahead.
I want to know what the original name of the podcast was, and I want you to tell me the story about why it evolved into Be Me, Just Be with Scottie B.
Just be with Scottie G.
Yeah, Just Be with Scottie G.
It seems so simple now. Like, and then here's the thing. It's like it was a split decision, right? I'd kind of done this thing for a while. A Moderately Good Podcast. Shout out to the OG, A Moderately Good Podcast. Right? Great. It was a great name. It was a great horrible. The logo was done by one of my friends, and he drew the logo fantastic.
Nice.
But it was total. It was not like a really good podcast logo in the sense of like. It was everything I wanted in a logo, but like I didn't think about what that represented to anybody else, which I guess is kind of a good thing. But
Right.
it probably didn't make any sense
Right.
because it has very much a Houston theme to it, which probably didn't make sense to anyone, right? So I had a guy, Steven, come on my podcast, and he was like, what you're doing here is not what your podcast says, and he challenged me on it. And but in a good
electric.
way.
Yeah.
Well, like in a way of like, like whenever I'm done, I ask people like, hey, you got any feedback for me?
Yeah.
Hey, complete stranger, do you have any feedback about your experience about what happened on here? Because I want constant feedback about what I'm doing so I can be the best at this.
Totally.
Right. And that's what he was doing. He was giving me feedback. And in that moment, I could have chose to be fucking butthurt about it. Or I could go, hey, this is somebody giving you a gift.
Right.
To find out what's going on. Like, why is that stirring something in you? Why did that turn you in that way? Right. And so I sat on it for a while. It's just one of those things that just wouldn't go away of like, why haven't I decided? Why don't I know why?
Right.
Why do I not know why I'm not changing it? And then at some point, there was this weird evolution of my merchandise and all this stuff. And it just all came together that it should be called Just Be with Scottie G. And I mean, it's great too.
Yeah.
It's a great title, but it says what I'm doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So whether I'm sitting in that chair or you're sitting in this chair, right? It says what we're doing here is like being together with me, which is the whole original idea of this shindig.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And
I'm
just
just glad you like. I don't know if you knew this. Let me just throw this in. Like, so I provide food and beverage, right? And you can get anything you want. I mean, like, let's not get super nuts, right? But some people like to get like kind of aggressive, right? They like to go like, hey, you know what? What about a steak? And I'm always down for a good steak, right? But my guy here was
Franklin's barbecue.
Hey, if that's what you're gonna, I can schedule that out. That's not a problem. We can have it catered, right? But the point is my man was like, you just give me some Jimmy John's. And I was like, right on.
Dude.
Right on.
Nothing screams like a nice, like light lunch and just like a Friday Jimmy John's.
Yeah. Feels like a cheat meal.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It is nice. All right. So basically, and so then I got to hear, but it was like, I want to say this because I think this is very important. Something told me this sounds crazy. Something inside of me told me, like, he goes, you need to change this. Rip the Band-Aid off. Find a way to make it make sense and do it. Right? So then when I did it, I changed from on episode 76. This is so, like, if you care about anything like this.
I do.
Okay, so on episode 76, that's my birth year. That was the last episode. If you were to go look at the thing, that was the last episode of A Moderately Good Podcast. And after that, it became Just Be with Scottie G. And then the first episode I did was this like kind of mixtape therapy stuff that I do now in a different like form. So there was this real evolution that happened. You know what I mean? And I could have fought that.
Right.
Or I could find a way to swim with it.
Roll with it, baby.
Right. And so I found the lane. I found my lane. And then that made the next time that happens easier because it's going to happen again. Somehow you could tell yourself that like, hey, I could just quit here. You know what I mean? You could convince yourself of anything, right? And trying to find a way of going like, well, how can if I can't push it a foot, can I push it an inch?
Right.
Can I just be consistent about it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just, and that's
show up and do the simple thing.
show
Right?
show up for yourself
Yeah.
on the podcast, right? That's what you were talking about. Show up for yourself, bet on yourself, right? You got to do that. Totally. It's very important,
And it's much more fun, It's much more fun that way.
Because it's your life. It's your life.
Yeah.
It's your life, right?
When you feel like you have some say, right? Like, because we do. Well, we all have say over our life.
There's a lot of stuff that you don't have control over. But the more time you waste thinking about how you're going to control that stuff, and not just controlling the stuff you can control, throws you're out of whack. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like, you got to really go, every time something comes up, is this something I control, or do I have to let this go? Right. Okay. That's a great example. So recently I got hit on the highway. Some guy sideswiped me. Right. And I don't think he was going to pull over. And also, by the way, he said he hit me, but that is a lie.
So y'all are driving down the same lanes, and then he comes over to your lane, and you.
We're going on a highway. The exit is to the right. It's a double lane exit. I'm on the outside one, so I can go straight or I can turn, and he has to turn. Well, he hit my tail end, and then when we pulled over, he said, what's the New Hope exit? I was like, it's the next one, the one that you were trying to get to when you hit my tail. I didn't say that part. Yeah. But I was like, do you hit the tail end of my truck? Right? And then he told them that, he's also not from Austin.
Right.
Right? And he told them that, I swerved over into his lane. I was like, man, get out of here. I drive here every day. Are you crazy?
Yeah, for real.
But then I was just like,
you're like, officer, he was in this lane. this lane can't go that way.
Well, but apparently they don't write police. There was no police report. So the insurance wouldn't pay for it. Right? Now, I could choose to be butthurt about that, or I can figure it out. So you know what I did? So let me tell you what a racket that fixing a car is, right? The damage on the truck, I pretty much got out by buffing it out. Okay. It was going to be over $3,000 of an insurance claim. That is crazy. Right. But my point is that I found a solution. I buffed it out. And so now, I mean, there's one little thing, but my truck's 14 years old. You know what I mean? So What are we talking about here? Right. But I could still be mad about the insurance company, which would be very easy. Right. Also, in my humble little opinion, I think those are the moments, where God's going he's saying let's see what kind of tantrum you want to throw when shit ain't going your way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you hold strong to the beliefs that I tell you, I will grant those. I will give you those things. It's being in tune with what's being present, what's going on, right? And it might not be that serious, but in a lot of ways, I think of it like that. Those are the humbling moments. How do you respond when you're being humbled by someone or something? So that goes all the way back to in those moments where someone's making a suggestion of a name change, right? I could be humble in that moment with the information they're giving me, or I could just go, well, this guy don't know nothing,
right?
Someone once asked me, they said, basically in a nutshell, would you take the advice from, would you take any opinion about yourself from a homeless person? I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's he's not AI. He's got an opinion. You know what I mean? He's seen some shit.
Totally.
You know what I mean? And so there's always value in conversation with other people. You know what I mean?
100%. And you did a good job of through all that. And you seem like you're very good about this too, is it's letting it go.
I wasn't always that way though.
Just letting it go, right? Man, just some stuff we just gotta let go. It's okay, it's gonna happen. It's okay, didn't go perfect with the car, right? All right, well, gotta let it go, move on, right? And I don't know. I think that's a pretty cool. You seem very good about that. You seem very adaptable. You seem like you roll with the punches well.
I'm glad that you say that, but it ain't always been that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wisdom in the 50s.
I okay. I would believe that, I do think there is a certain level of that, like after your life kicks your ass for like 50 years, you have a different perspective. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's the lessons you learn that make the difference on whether you really truly get to this perspective of what, because let me tell you something. I work with a lot of people, and I'm around people older than me all the time, and it's all an attitude. What kind of attitude do you want to have about the longevity of your life? Right. And that really comes down to you.
Right.
Like, no, and like, I mean, I'm sure everyone has experienced on some level, some old person get mad about something. They're just like, what in the hell are you getting mad about? Like, it doesn't matter, it shouldn't matter. But like, that's where people get, and it makes it tough.
So I got my second question for you.
Go.
Right. Because right, we're still in the segment, right? As long as I'm in this chair,
as long as
I am the captain now.
Yeah.
I get to ask the questions.
Look at me.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Scottie, who are you absent of your concerns?
Concerns about anything?
Concerns about anything, yeah. Like you were kind of concerned, right? Like the car and the insurance was a concern, and like, okay, kind of got to let that go.
I think that the longer you hold on to concerns, I mean, there probably is some value of like, if something happens and it impacts you, that you have to process it.
Right.
Like there has to be a process. But like, how long is long enough? And how long is too long?
Right.
And like you are the decider of that, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember saying to a friend one time, he was upset about something. And I was like, look, man, it just really comes down to how long you want to hold on to it. You know what I mean? I didn't mean that in a jerky way. I just meant that like, you are your own worst enemy in that moment. Like, so like, you have to decide to let it go. And if I can't make you, right? And for you as your friend, seeing you in pain, that you can't let go of that makes me hurt. That sucks. Like, because I know I can't do anything for you.
Right.
And it's probably like watching somebody drown and you just can't do anything. It must be horrible. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so, like for me, on an emotional level with my friends and stuff like that, and the person that I am, like that happens a lot. Where I see people putting themselves through things that they don't have to, but those are things also they're the most sensitive about. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They're the most sensitive about those things.
For sure.
These are the awareness pieces that I'm asking a homeless guy for.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, tell me, man, tell me what you know.
Yeah. But yeah, it is kind of cool. Is like when you start thinking of like, we obviously like all have like a soul, right?
Yes.
And as you're like born, like, I don't know. It's kind of fun thinking about like I think that's what that question is like trying to get to is like, we all think of ourselves as like this something that we do this or we do this or we're from here, or we do this or whatever. But, when you go like really down into it and you're talking about like a soul, you're like, wow, like that's cool to think about, like this innate, just beautiful, creative driven, you like see like how creative kids are and the way they just like communicate and just like evolution of life. You're like, damn, like that's pretty sweet. You're right.
I think so. We were talking about on the podcast that like, like your high school and college identity was like being a tennis player.
Right.
I guess wearing a baseball jersey, maybe that's subconscious, right? So being a tennis player, right? And then, you have to find, like, you have to break out of that identity, whatever, and find your identity, right? But what it really is that, like, none of us are, like, one thing, right? I think part of the reason why it's hard to nail down, like, who I am or where I'm from is because, like, I'm a dad, I'm a partner, I'm a son, right? I'm a creative, right? I'm a friend, I hope, right? I hope I'm a good friend to some people. I hope I'm a brother. I don't said brother. I hope I have brothers that are not family, right? I hope all that, right?
Right.
So I'm all those things, and I think that we find safety in finding like one identity, but it's not true.
Right.
No, it's like if you believe in a political party, right? I don't want not political thing, but if you identify like someone based on a 50-50 thing, and you have to be one or the other.
Right.
You can't be anything else. You got to be one or the other. That really boxes in a whole.
It's very divisive, right? Like,
It's super divisive, but it's not realistic.
right.
Because that's just not true. Like you can't. That's too broad of a stroke. It's too broad of a stroke, right?
Totally,
It's like when you ask me, you're like, you're from hot weather or cold weather. That's pretty much it. It's like you're not 50-50. You're knocking out half of it
Right.
already, right? And so I just think it's really unfair to people, and you should explore that too. Like that's not other people's responsibility. You should figure out who you are. Maybe I've never thought of this before. But you ever meet somebody that they're into something and it just feels like off, like they're into it too much or something?
Yeah.
You're like, man, like example, like you're way too much into weed. Like you're way too much into weed, more than like people I know that are into weed or whatever it is, right?
Totally. Yeah.
I think that though they've fallen victim to this is my identity, right? I can't be anything else. I have to be that. And so I have to do all the things that person does, but they still have to go home by themselves at night and brush their teeth and do all this other stuff that makes them other things. And they had to come from somewhere. They might have a partner, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so it feels weird because it's like, well, no one's like that. No one's that much one thing. You know what I mean? Or it's like when there's like a Michael Jackson impersonator and he like changes his face. Right. It's like no person, no
Some
one.
of them are so realistic.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
What a way to make a living.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
If you were gonna be,
just like do that many.
If you were gonna be an impersonator,
we're both dancers, right? Like,
if you're gonna be an impersonator for a living, like you had to go to Vegas and you're gonna be one of those like in the little circle.
Yeah.
What would you do in your little circle?
Like I feel like, dude, like a young The Rock would be cool. You know, you just, like when he still had hair, and you just go around and you're just like, and they like latch you on with some, whatever.
Would you do the turtleneck with the chain? Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good.
Like a young Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Man, I don't.
Could be fun.
I asked this question and I don't have an answer for you. I don't know what I would do. I think I would probably, I don't know. I would probably just do like 60-second podcasting. Or like just basically like crowd work, right? Just mini crowd work. Just mini crowd, like you get to step in the circle or something like that. Or I'm like show your talent, or I don't know, like whatever.
I could see you like directing some like crazy thing in the middle of like Times Square. That's like a pop-up show or something like that. I could see you like being like a director of that.
I think I could get there. I think right now I find safety.
Or the Fort Worth stock, whatever that area is over there.
I feel safe. I feel safety like being here. You know what I mean? Yeah, totally. Anything else? You got one more question for me?
Okay, I got one more question. So you said you're celebrating kind of your big 50th birthday, right?
Yes. At the time of this recording, I will have already turned 50. I am 49 right now, but when this airs, I will be 50. Yes.
Well, first of all, happy birthday.
Thanks. I don't know how long ago it was. Like it was probably a couple months ago or something like that. But yeah, it's cool.
We're still we'll still go with that. But yeah, man, just what's lighting you up these days?
Oh man, it's crazy that you asked that. Cause
like what are you really on fire about? What are you what's
I think we might have mentioned this like on the podcast. I was doing these comedic classes. That we talked about that, right?
Yeah.
And man, like I remember like in high school, I think I did like, I don't know, like whatever acting was in high school. And then in college, I took this like public speaking class. We had to do like a lot of acting stuff. So I've always and I always did like these plays as like kids and stuff like that. So I think it like to do that was always kind of there. But I mean, in all honesty, like I was holding myself back. I'm not thinking like, what can I do?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And I don't know if it's age. I don't know if it's like the internet and like seeing stuff on the internet and going like, I could at least do that. Right. I could be at least that good. Right. And then going, well, like what's holding me back from doing my absolute best? Nothing. You know what I mean? And these classes have really stretched me to really think about how I'm doing things and how I'm showing up to do this or do stand up or like whatever else it is, right?
Mhm.
And I don't think the person I was before was open enough to that. You know,
Gotcha.
I had all the I had all the reasons why it wasn't working for me. It's like, ooh, excuse me, when we talk about meditation. Oh, I didn't mean to bring that up, but here we go. Um, you
Oh.
know, you always hear like how it doesn't work for them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And like even the fact that you think it's not working, it was working, but you're just putting judgment on it. Like, I mean, like you just like you just keep doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's kind of like the same thing. It's like had all the excuses of why I can't, I don't, not do acting, but just do this. When I was a kid, you were talking about. I really had questions about the tapey the videos you sent in to get into that fancy college.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right? You said like you like cut it and like we're doing all. What kind of camera did you use? Were there phones at this time, or did you have like a
Yeah,
camera?
yeah,
Camera?
yeah, yeah. No, it was like a, um, dude, I think they had like a basic DSLR camera
Okay,
over
so
there.
so
Like
bro,
it had like a recording thing and whatever. Like it wasn't like an old school like camcorder, but like it wasn't like super slick either. It was like the one with just like the open and
okay, but like bro, when I was a kid, I would run around with a camcorder.
like the one of the big boys.
Yeah, yeah, and we would like record like.
Bro, I still have one of those.
Hey, but do you have any tapes though?
Yeah, so we like recorded like this one concert in Pittsburgh on it, and then I like shot something else with it. I can't remember, but like those are the only things, and like I think it still works. But it's super sick. You even have like the where you can the eye thing that you can bring down, and
Mine wasn't that fancy. Mine was the one my parents just bought because like we had to like everyone had to have a camcorder, right?
Yeah.
But they just let me use it. So I'd make commercials. I wanted all my projects to be like videos.
Yeah.
And so, you were talking about like you went to New Zealand during the pandemic, fancy. I I built this during the pandemic,
How cool is that?
right? So, but I did this with my daughter, right? So we had my daughter during the pandemic. Like she was born during the pandemic, right?
Hey, okay.
So we were kind of trapped here. So she would just hang out with me in here, and I would work on stuff or whatever. And it wasn't like this, but like, I mean, she would just be out here, and it's just grown with us together. And so that has all been just,
How cool is that?
yeah, like it's
I love those stories too of like, COVID and taking like a bad time, and then there are just some of these like really positive things that come out of it that could have only happened, but were pushed forth
I'm gonna
because of that time. It was like kind of expedited a little bit, I guess.
I don't want to discredit how tough COVID was for people.
Oh yeah.
Okay. But I do want to say how you chose to handle what happened. If you get out what you put in, the impact whatever you put in, that's what you get out. And so if you chose to make the most of it, then you probably got the most of it. But if you chose to be, and some people were in situations that are just horrible, right? But if you had opportunity and you passed it up, then you ultimately made yourself a victim, and you chose on some level that path, right? Outside of crazy circumstances. I don't want to sound insensitive, you know what I mean? But I had asked you on the podcast, like if you read, because you kept mentioning, it kept making me think of Man's Search for Meaning, right?
Okay.
And so the book Man's Search for Meaning is his account of living through the Holocaust,
Gotcha.
right? Don't know if it gets much worse than that, guys. And this guy found purpose inside the Holocaust, right? And so you're like, yo, if this guy can find purpose in the Holocaust, I think I can find purpose in my life here in America where I have Amazon.
For
You know what I mean? I can find a way to like be grateful for all the things that I have and not be upset that this, that, and the other is doing this.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, it's like the only way I think you get that perspective is you have to like travel. Like, you need to go check out like other parts around the world and how other people live. And, it's like, it does two things. It makes you really appreciative for what you did have. Right. And like, be like, man, okay, sweet. Like I'm very grateful for some of the things that I had coming up. And then it also gives you more empathy towards other people and just other circumstances. And like we talked about, right? That's what makes a meaningful life. I don't think it's any secret, right? Is community driven, human centric, because we're all connected, right? We really are. I mean, we're all coming from this, like, we're all human beings. We're all connected at some level. Now, what level of that, how deep you want to go on that kind of depends on some stuff. But like, like we all want community. We all want to see and bring joy to other people, I think, for the most part, right? And if you're not that way, what were the conditions that were in place that caused you to be that way? Because we're all conditions of some pretty amazing circumstances that allow us to even be breathing, right? So it's like, dude, you can always come back to gratitude on that and just, yeah. I mean, for me, like, dude, I was in the middle of a camper van in New Zealand, completely isolated for like 3 months during COVID. COVID was one of the toughest times for me as like an individual. Like, my uncle died during that time. I couldn't even get back for a funeral or service or anything like that. Not stuck, but, well, at a certain point stuck down on this like remote island, right? Like away from everyone. And like, yeah, COVID's a rough thing. But exactly to your point, right? Like, how do you, kind of how do you handle it? I don't know.
Well, I mean, I would assume you made the best of what you had, right? Like, I mean, that's really all you're really ever doing, the best of circumstances. Like so part of what I do is I work with like athletes on their like mental like focus and stuff like that, right? And once you're out of the moment, you're dunskies, right? You know what I'm saying? And so that takes work. And back to like I was talking on the podcast, not coming back to meditation, but like the practice of being with yourself, right, is what allows you to be the most open to respond in those moments appropriately, right? Because when you think about like a batter in a batter's box, right, your ultimate job is to be open enough to respond to what the information that's coming at you, which is the baseball, right. And that dude throwing the baseball can make like endless decisions about like how he wants to approach that, and you deciding anything before he does anything is just setting you back even further. Right. And that is really hard. It happens. It's on all sports. Like it's really in everything that you do. Like if you could show up that in your everyday life like that with intention in every moment that you have, like being here, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it feels good. You feel engaged. You feel dialed in. You're more, in my opinion, you're more open to give grace. I feel like, right? Because then you go, oh man, that sucks for my friend that he's stuck in that mind space. I wish I could really help him. So I'm not gonna tell him what to do. I'm just gonna be a sounding board for him right now. Just let him get him on. Maybe I have some questions, and if I get like kind of like bad feelers, maybe I just won't ask any questions at all. Maybe I'll wait till he wants to talk about it. Maybe he's already talked about it enough. Right. But like, I'm going to respond to what he gives me like that batter.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to be the response because that's my job as his friend in that moment. Right.
Yeah. And you're not so like easily triggered, like to just kind of like like a rock through a stream, like you're just like able to flow with it. Right. And, dude, especially in today's day and age, man, it's like just letting things sit and just being able to just like listen to what people are saying, especially as we get more and more distracted, right, is like ever more important. And yeah, it sounds like you're able to do a really good job of that, man.
Well,
so
just be with Scottie,
awesome.
just be with Scottie G.
I love it, dude. Let's go.
Hey, my man, thank you so much.
Appreciate you, boss.
Yeah, thank you.
It was a lot of fun, man.